Tashlin?
Yo! This is going to be so much fun.
Well, hello, all you beautiful internet peeps out there in the interwebs. This is Tashlan with Charlie the dog and Puddon Anpye the pussycats. And this is Creativerse, and not just any old Creativerse. This is a special year-end review for 2017, the year that Playful actually released Creativerse on full release. And I was invited to do this by the two gaming girls, and with us is also Cat Smiles, CGen Game, and XD Susie. So I hope you enjoy what we're going to do. We're going to be building a blueprint, if I can speak correctly, and we will be talking about all of the updates that Playful have given us since the release and throughout this year. I do apologize a little bit in advance for some of the audio quality. We were using Discord to coordinate everything, and unfortunately sometimes it comes out a little bit distorted. But also Discord has a very sweet habit of kicking me out every now and then. So you'll see me sort of, it'll go quiet and then it'll come back again. And that's simply because I've had to sort of log in and log out all of the time. But technical hitches notwithstanding, we all got together and we had a great time. And I hope that you'll have a great time watching us. So enjoy.
Well, the Machines Evolved update. It came out in January. What's the feedback? What do you guys think of it?
I absolutely loved the idea of the machines. I do believe it has a really high learning curve, though.
How so? Oh, you mean like learning how they all function?
Yeah, if someone like never used a machine before, on like myself, it's so taunting.
Let me turn off flood fill. I think that might be too fast. Don't anyone say anything yet. Hold on. That was way too fast.
Do you want us to be using autofill?
Yeah, I'm turning it off.
I think I am going to.
You guys can game settings, controls, and then it's there in case you never turn it off. All right, so back to discussion. I don't know. I thought Tim and I had not acted yet when this update came out, so you know we didn't experience what the change itself was like, but just looking at what came out, I thought there were some powerful machines. It was the phasers and the sensors and the arc signs, and there's just such a huge amount of like creativity potential that was added to the game with those three, especially. Just the ability to make things disappear. I love it. I just love making things. It's like the sensors having it by not only players but creatures. Just like, you know, I've seen some of those daytime sensors and things like that. It's just really you can get that weren't necessarily the original intention of it. I like being able to, and I like that it's all wireless in general. Just the machines themselves, just not having to worry about putting down things that take up space themselves, but just connecting things. So if you want the door to open because you came, I wish that could happen in real life.
Oh, wouldn't it be nice? Definitely. All right, I'll talk real fast. I just changed autofill, but now my mouse is like super slow. Did I mess up something?
Yes, I did this the other day. Let me go back to it. Go back to the controls and camera lock sensitivity and see if that bar. I have mine at 100. I don't know if you. The other day I was trying to change this and I accidentally clicked at the top, and my bar was like super slow and sluggish. It was horrible. So just make sure on the controls page, camera look sensitivity. I guess at 100.
Sweet, thank you. Sorry about that.
All right. Anybody else? I mean, what do you guys think about the machines in the game? How is it helping, hurting? What's the good stuff? Good and bad?
I also like that they added the mob spawners. They did not have that before. You can spawn your own creatures, and that was especially like in adventures in the future when they added that in.
Yeah, and I liked. I did that with the arena. That was the first time I used it. I was building an arena that I have not finished yet, and I used the mob spawner. It was really cool.
It's just fun.
Like,
The thing I liked the most about that update was being able to shove mobs.
yeah, I was gonna say that.
Oh my god! If we could not, I don't think I would survive long builds. They're always in the way.
Those darn piggies.
Yes. And it kills me that, like, I'll be opening a door and they're right there and they just walk in. I'm like, okay, I guess they're coming in.
And what's worse is if you are not on a past friendly mob server and they come in, they can wreck your day, especially at night.
Definitely.
Anything else for the machines update?
I kind of wish they would allow torches to be turned off and on, toggled.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That was something I wish you could do that. I forgot. It's a really good point. I think I'm out of slabs, yes. Okay, so after that in February they had the published adventures update. So I myself haven't made an adventure yet, but I've gone on a few, and I just really love how it allows players to creatively push the boundaries of the game more than like kind of maybe they anticipated. Some of the things that people have come up with are just so unique and interesting.
Well, it brings an RPG kind of a feel to an MMO, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's what we were missing, because we had so many people making all these wonderful things, and it was so hard to share because everybody's so afraid to bring someone into their own world.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that is actually a very good point, is that it's a safe way to show off. Because I always thought, you know, you build all these lovely things, and that's primarily actually why I took to going on YouTube, because I thought that's the only way I'm going to be able to show what I'm doing. Whereas I think that having the adventures, you're able to show off without putting your world at risk of being griefed. And we know it happens. Playfulverse was even griefed. So it happens regularly, and it's nice to have that ability to not be griefed and still show off.
Agree.
I didn't even realize that it was possible to do. I wasn't sure if because we haven't been playing since before May of this past year. The admin locks the visitor that you could still grief someone beyond that. That if you default it to visitor, they won't be able to do anything anyways unless you give them permission to. So whatever update.
Yeah, I think that you can. I know for a fact that you can't have default to visitor if you're not pro. So your world's open for a start, and also I think you can be griefed with TNT even if the person's a visitor. I could be wrong on that though.
I think I was on another world. They can activate TNT that's been placed, but they can't place it.
No, that could be true.
So, Susie, you've gone on a lot of adventures. What are kind of the things you like about them?
The fact that we can actually share them and experience ourselves, like being in somebody else's world, and it's kind of adventurous, interesting.
Yeah, I like kind of a mix of what you and Kat are saying of just, I don't know, I think it's really, maybe it's the storyteller in me. I like the fact that it's not even just that you can invite them into your world, but you can kind of dictate the flow of it. Like, go here, go there. Like the checkpoints even is really cool. So you're like, these are the things I really want you to see. Even turn it into a game aspect of, here's what you need to try to get to. You know, can you make it? Can you reach a little maze or whatever? It's just, I don't know. I think the potential there is extreme for what we can do.
Yeah, like the challenge of it.
I haven't actually done one myself, mostly because I'm like, this will be my whole time. Like, there'll be no time for anything else, because between the storyteller and the builder and me, I'll have a massive adventure that'll take months, and then people are like, oh, that was fun. I spent a whole 15. Yeah, I love going on other people's adventures.
With the adventures, though, sorry, I almost sneezed. I wish there was more tags that you were able to go into as like an adventure, story adventure. If it was a maze adventure, if it was like a role-playing adventure, something like that.
Yes, I think in general the search features for everything, but yeah, it's really hard to find an adventure you want to go on in the first place. All right. So the next 40 mob makeover mayhem. This was in March. One of the things that it added, but I never got a chance to play with because Zach, was the adventure map, the adventure picture frames. How do you guys feel about it? I don't even know the reasons behind it. It's probably, I mean, I know it's some kind of technical reason of why they removed it, but what's your takes on the adventure maps? I love the idea that you could make something and take a picture of it and then use that as artwork in your build somewhere else.
Yeah, I can tell you straight away why they actually had to stop it. And it was because people were doing adventures with objects in it that were not safe for work, to put it as mildly as possible. And so they had to stop it because people were then, you know, putting these pictures up, and there's quite a wide age demographic of people that play Creativerse. I mean, I happen to know somebody whose age is yet to reach 2 figures. So you know, you don't want children to be seeing the kind of things that these people were putting up on these things. So unfortunately, the community, well, a few in the community actually spoiled that for everybody.
A shame. I mean, I'm glad that they took it down. That's what was happening. But yeah,
We also, something we haven't covered yet, the whole blueprint aspect, that now with the workshop, people could potentially post those same types of things.
You cut out, Kat.
My mind went blank for a second there. I do believe that it is a concern with all of it, with, you know, the pornographic or non pictures, but now we have to worry about, like with the billboard we just made for today with our own logos. Who says we can't do that in the same way?
Yeah. It's something I've strayed a little from. Like, we've made a few for special cases, but that's kind of my thing too. It's just like, now that we have that feature, is there going to be inappropriate stuff added too?
I mean, honestly, if there's, like, in any group, you're going to have the people who are going to go out of their way to mess up something for us.
Yeah.
And that's that.
This update was also, it's called the mob makeover. So this is when they, for instance, changed the warm worm art. I again did not experience it personally, but I've seen the old pictures, and I am very happy with the new version.
Oh, I'm in love with him. I do wish they bring back the shoe headpiece.
What was that?
The shoo, you know, the one with the fire tail.
Uh-huh.
Used to have a leafy kind of hat on his head.
Aww.
Wait, they took that away? I didn't even realize.
Well, do remember I'm playing on a potato, so I might not actually get the graphics. So at least that's what I've noticed.
Well, I don't have a potato, but I don't know. I didn't notice it. And also with the picture frame thing, I didn't even know you could do that before they took it away. Like, I wasn't even...
Well, I always wondered if it was because of the, like, surge. I mean, personally, I would have made a lot of, in quotes, just to get the picture I wanted in my own world. And I was like, I wonder if there was a flood of just people abusing that and making fake adventures just for the picture. But, yeah.
It must have not been up for very long, was it? I mean, because I don't even remember seeing that available.
It came out and by May is about when Tam and I think May is when Tam and I joined, and I remember when we reversed it too. So it's probably a good month or so. This design is really cool. I'm like finally starting to see it come together.
Don't forget to put the lighting in under the on the ground level.
I was just about to say that. I think there's a bunch that got missed.
Yeah, I was looking at that too. I'm like trying to keep an opening for them. I don't have all those lights.
Is there any way we can change it to view through?
Yeah, we can do that.
And I have to say that their response to what the community were doing actually with those picture frames, they were very quick to realize that there was a problem and to correct it. And I think that's one thing that Playful do very well, is they do manage their community very well, and they try and make it a very pleasant gaming experience for everybody. And you know, hats off to them for doing that.
Yeah, I think they do a good job of communicating with people what's going on.
Oh, I 100% agree. This is one of the best devs and communities that I Lord of the Rings when they first came out. But they have they're on top of it. I mean, they see something and yeah, they're on top of it.
So for this update, I had a couple more things myself. Again, I wasn't here for it, but so this is when the plow tool used to change blocks, like take a wood block and turn it into like a log block or whatever, which I think is cool. Oddly enough, not to do with the actual update, the plow itself. Oh my goodness, I really want it to not be 4 seconds.
I actually that was on my list as well.
It's on my list.
I definitely agree with that.
I love the fact that you're allowed to hollow out the woods. So those are my favorite woods, and they're so hard to find. But the length and training, taming a pet too. Sometimes that just takes forever.
Oh yes, the team is probably why I don't do it very often, because it takes.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think we're really excited about the idea that anything could be tamed, and started doing that. And then I don't know. I think they need to drop, or if not drop better things, then at least not require so much maintenance. Because it was like, I'm dirty. Clean me off. Feed me. It's just like, and what do you give me back? Like nothing. Piddly stuff. I clothe you. I feed you. I clean you. Bathe you. And what do I get in return?
least they're not totally broken anymore, and they're actually staying in your pins.
Except for mine was jumping on the roof the other day, but it is a whole lot better.
Yeah. I don't remember which hotfix it was, but I definitely do want to say I love the fact that they fixed the water.
I don't remember when that was either, but I mean, there's still some things I'd like to adjust to the water. It's just, but Jen, you love the water too, right?
Oh yes, it's my favorite aspect of this game. No, but I really wish will someday fix it for the blueprints. In a lot of my videos, that it's you can better and do it after you're done with the blueprint because it makes a mess.
Yeah.
Last thing I had for this update was that this is also when they added the ability to merge borders. So if you're on a public world and you can see claim borders, if you own claims next to each other, you do your own claim anymore, which was just nice quality of life change.
Oh yeah.
Cam, are you okay? Okay.
Sorry, I have to put the lights in underneath and all the spots.
I was just drowned earlier because I got stuck. I fell into a hole under here and got stuck, but I got out. I didn't die, obviously.
So I was coming by and I'm like, oh, I see, like, pull up the ground, and then I look down and like Tam's there floating up. I'm like, that's not creepy.
Braver than me. I wouldn't do that.
All right. All right, so go ahead.
I know, I've just been swimming from hole to hole, popping up to grab the air and then dropping down to put.
So the next update was the okay, make sure I'm not skipping anything. Yes. All right. So the next update was the R44, the industrial update. So that was a pretty huge one. All new items. I personally love the new blocks. I like the ability that you could switch up the style of your build, so you could have a modern build or a textile build. I love opening chimney, and the Robo Retreat was really cool blueprint. And I think for me it was also the ability to suddenly now rotate windows and fences. That was like, ah.
And you wonder why that wasn't in there in the first place.
So what did you guys think of the industrial?
It's definitely one of my favorites. I really, really like it.
Well, I'm a very big fan. Sorry, I'm a very big fan of steampunk. So when the industrial update came up, I was just, oh yes, and the fact that they've got, you know, the moving cogs and the bellows and all the sounds that go with it as well, because I remember actually suggesting to them a while back, wouldn't it be nice to have blocks that have sound effects? And they sort of incorporated that in as well. To me, it was nice because it means you could add movement. They had the smoke effects, all the particle effects with it. So yeah, it was a very exciting update, I thought, because they brought in these new elements that allowed you in your builds to actually bring a little bit more life, so it wasn't just so flat and just blocks anymore.
I agree. I love the fact that, like, with the Christmas that they brought in the smoke and the fires and all of that. That was awesome. And I do agree with you. I love the new barrel. I can't say it. Sorry. The new blocks that allow you to move.
Yeah.
I just wish with, like, the fans that you were able to turn off the pushment, you know, the actual fan part, that keep the movement of it.
I think they also made the forges a lot faster. But what I'd like to see with the forges, space in them, or each stack of creatable material within the forge to be increased.
That would definitely help.
I'd
Yes.
go it faster and more. I'd go with both.
I mean, it's great we can push shift now and get more in there, but that's just what saves us a few seconds.
Yeah. When you're doing the big builds, you need so many processors out.
Yeah, I think that's a big wish list for a lot of people, is let us make advanced processors and forges. Start off with the basic, that's fine, but let us upgrade them so that instead of what is it, I think it's 21 is the maximum you can do. Instead of that, you know, let us double it, let us quadruple it, because all you see in most people's builds is just row upon row upon row of processors and forges, because you just have to grind it out all the time.
Yeah, my builds kind of show that too.
Yeah, and I don't mind it being a little bit more in-game. I don't want it to be when you first join, you're like, oh, that was easy. And I get that you want people to experience some time in it, but I think once you have put in that time, then you should be rewarded a little bit with the process.
Well, I read somewhere where someone mentioned using the chips as a way to go faster, and I like that idea.
Ooh, because I'm a little bit of a hoarder, not a huge hoarder, but I still have all those things. I'm just like, I wish there was a point to them.
Yeah, I mean, they used to have a webpage that you can go to that you can do the Morse code and decode it, but that no longer works.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, and that's actually, I hadn't even thought of that till just now. That's one of the first things I liked about Creativerse was that I remember when we were doing the Hollow server with some, and they first would join, they'd be like, okay, so this, and I love being able to tell them everything is useful for something. Something you want to, no matter how, whatever the creeps, the mob drops, you can use it. Maybe not now.
Oh yeah, it's like when I first started, I was like, what are the bones for? And I kept throwing them away, and now you need the bones because of the Halloween updates, you know?
I would love to, a little bit more of that was useful.
Another thing I loved about this update was the shininess of the new ores.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I would love to be able to make a blueprint with the ore in it.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
And it would be just epic to make something. But the fact that you can't blueprint them, I mean...
It makes sense to not be able to just keep doing that over and over again, but
they would have to come up with the block itself.
But it'd be nice if you could make a shinier block, maybe.
Yeah, it would be nice to have the ores as a texture, not necessarily as an ore. So you could say, instead of it like you don't want people to replicate the ores over and over again, because you know they will do it. It's human nature, of course they will. But to also then be able to create a block that looks like it, because I know I've seen that they used, because you know with tar you can make coal and diamond, and they actually made a planetarium.
Yeah,
and they you know, and I think that's brilliant, and I'm like, why didn't I think of that, you know? But I'd love to be able to put like the obsidian in there, or can you imagine the iron ore on a wall somewhere? That'd be brilliant. I'd love that. And it doesn't have to be iron ore, it just needs to be that we can have that texture.
Yeah, it's one of the lamps I use a lot for some builds too. There were some really nice pieces that came out with that. It was funny because I don't normally, I know Chaslin, you were saying you kind of like that steampunk. I don't normally build in it, but literally like a week or two before it came out, I was sitting there going like, I wish there was more blocks so you could make a steampunk. And then they came out, I was like, they can read my mind.
I know, right?
All right, so go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say the developers are watching you. Ha 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 ha.
And as many times as we've been retweeted, I really think they are.
Yeah. Okay, so the next update, the blueprint update, the blueprint revolution update. So, sure, we all have things to say about that. I'll just leave it open. What do you guys
Go
think?
ahead, Jen.
What's that? I'm so a little distracted about placing. I got caught.
The blueprint update. What's your thoughts?
Oh, about the blueprint update with the users being able to make.
Yeah.
How do I feel about this? I hate it. No, I'm kidding. I love it. It's the best thing ever. I'm telling you, because I love blueprints. If you didn't know that by now, yeah. And it's to see, you know, the creation, the creativity of people, because there are so many creative people out there, far more than myself, and I draw from that, and I just love it. Oh.
I'm with you 100%. I love to be able to look at someone's blueprint and be like, oh, so that's how they made it? You turn it that way?
Yes, it's like, exactly. Oh, you can use this as, you know, that? Wow, I would have never thought of that.
Yeah, definitely. Because this is my very first building game, so I've never been... So learning all of this is just so wonderful. Did you guys get that, or did I miss it?
No, we heard
No, we got it.
Sorry, I didn't hear the beep, so I'm like... One thing I wish they would do is for contributors, I believe that's what it's called on the Steam Workshop, that you didn't have to be somebody to be able to join them as a contributor, so that using somebody else's blueprint wasn't your blueprint as soon as you posted it again. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's something that's to do with Steam rather than with Playful, and this has been why a lot of other places that a lot of game developers who've used the Steam Workshop, they wanted to be able to pay people for their work, but they couldn't do it because what people were then doing is they were seeing somebody's design, taking it, then publishing it as their own, and then expecting to get paid for it. So it's just one of those things that is definitely a Steam thing, though, rather than something that Playful have any control over.
Yeah, definitely. It just would be nice to, you know, be like, other than us putting our own signature on it, saying this is build, you know.
Or, you know, showing that you've actually physically been building it by having an entire YouTube series dedicated to every single step as proof of creation.
Well, yeah, that's great, but like with mine, with the Created Who TARDIS, I lost almost all that footage because my computer is a potato.
Poor computer. It's gonna fight back today. How many times did she call me a potato today? When the blueprints first came out, I was excited to be excited, and then, like when they were discussing it, and then when it actually came out, I was a little sad. And I think, Kat, you might have posted on Twitter too that you were like a little mixed feelings about it. For me personally, what I had originally planned to do with our channel was we were going to be more of a Creativerse guides channel, like how to do something, because that's what I had fun doing, not just, you know, here's the build, but here's how you can make it yourself. And I was like, well, they just put me out of business. You know, how I need to download it and then do it.
Yeah, that was...
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, but that was one of my things on my checklist to mention to you guys, was how did you guys feel about how this is going to affect our channel?
Yeah, it was just that I was really going like, okay, we need to revamp what our point is for our channel now. You know, still want to do ours, but what's our Senate? And now we do more like the kind of the sets and stuff, which is fun. But I think the first thing that made me go, okay, no, this is actually cool, was when I was thing, and I could blueprint what I had done in one corner and then redo it in a different corner, and that whole back and forth between one thing and another to make sure that they match. And it's like, no, I just set the blueprint down and I'm good. Or the ability to, like what we did here, make the platform of grass, and it's just like, you don't have to hit C and for forever. You can just put down the blueprint and click, 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 and you're done. And that was when I first went, okay, blueprints and me are gonna be okay.
For sure, yeah. Because there's so many times I'm like, I'm off one block and I have to tear down the whole wall.
Yes. And that's a nightmare.
That is my life, by the way. I'm always off one block.
It's like, I know I counted. I really do.
That's what Tim did.
Yeah, I just did that on the magic, the magic school. I had to tear down an entire wall, and I did it on live stream. And yeah, like the video that I posted previously, it showed me, it's like, okay, that's the center, and no, it was not the center.
It was so much better to just like, you know what, I'm gonna copy this. It's a copy paste. It's a beautiful copy paste. It didn't mean that I was, until they now have those kind of like login packs, I was seriously hunting down some oh my god, what are the creatures called? Little blue guys. Oh my god, why am I blanking on this? The keepers. Yes. Oh my god, I saw a keeper. I was like, kill the keeper. I need your Arcstone.
Well, I find
Yeah,
for me. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I find for me, like with the blueprints, I've actually started doing on my channel is I've just looked at people's blueprints, and it would be nice if it's actually on the blueprint that it would also credit the person, because
yes.
I've downloaded some and I'd like to credit them, and I'm like, I didn't write down their name, and I'm feeling really bad because now I'm doing their blueprint on YouTube, it's on the internet, and I can't say, oh, and so did this, check out their other stuff. So I've got to go back now and sort of research it to try and see where I've got them from. So that would have been a really nice thing to add.
I think Steam has a way for you to look and see what you were subscribed to.
Yeah, I think I agree. Like when you actually put the blueprint down, if you click on it, you should be able to see it there, like without having to go anywhere else. Because it had, like, I would love description and everything.
Well, yeah, this is it. It should be, I don't know, shark blueprint by so-and-so. That's how it should be named. It needs to be always there so that it's a reminder.
I think it's also good just for people when they promote themselves. And I don't mean just YouTubers or anything. I mean more specifically when you are doing someone else's build on a world, even a public world. Start a blueprint, such and such. And it's just nice that people go, oh, I work and I whatever. You can kind of see those details. Okay, I don't think I have anything that's needed near here.
That's why I just use my glider.
Who has the multicolored blocks?
Not I.
The Moroccan wall.
I have slopes.
I do. I'm trying to put them in wherever I can see them.
Well, on the, I guess, of the build, there's a ton of empty ones.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else about the Blueprint Revolution update?
I wish it was easier so that when you did switch back from like a preview or something like that for our own blueprints, like the ones we don't upload, that we didn't lose them. We don't save them in some type of way.
What do you mean, like, if you don't actually make the blueprint?
Well, let's say we like this. We blueprint it, but we don't post it on Steam. And now we go to like the preview, or we have to unload or download the game again. We lose that blueprint if we don't save it.
Oh, I did not realize that. Huh. That's good to know. Note to self: don't uninstall this game unless you have it all copied. Okay, this is really weird because I'm like walking and I'm like, I pray that this is an actual solid piece and not a see-through piece because it's kind of blending. There we go. All right, so I wanted to make sure I knew how many. So we have 4 more updates to go over. The R46 update was the galactic update, and I'm going to start off saying 300 stacks, yes, 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 and thank you, yes. It made storage so much nicer.
It made me not feel like a hoarder. I have to.
Yes.
It just made me want to hoard even more. 300 stack. Oh, we gotta do this now.
Yeah, my room is like so empty. I'm like I used to know where everything was. Now it's like a few inches over.
Yeah, that readjusting was a little bit interesting at first. I was like, where is it this now? But like the chest that I used to keep of like grass and dirt and stuff. Oh god, it's so much nicer to have 300 stacks of that.
Yeah, because otherwise it'd be multiple chests full of the same exact item, and they'd start to cover one wall, and then at some point you started to just obliterate the world and not care if you collected the bags as they fell, just so that they terraforming.
Besides the 300, okay, there was also, oh my god, I think I forgot to mention this. What update was it where we got placemats? To me,
that was the launch update.
Was it? Okay, well then I'm sorry. Me and start again. Words right. Me and placemats have a love affair. They're one of the best things ever. And then in this update, the galactic update, we got the grab chambers, and I was like, yes, this is me.
And apologies to anyone who decides they want to build any of our magic, because they're going to be with placemats, and I feel sorry for the pigsies of your world.
Yeah, the pigsies have died a lot.
Now, for the placemats, have they changed it now where they're rotatable, or are they only facing one direction?
They are not rotatable. Well, let me change that so that it's north, south, east, west. You cannot rotate it so that you can place it flat on a wall.
I asked about it, and I think 2 streams ago, and Braislav answered that, you know, will there be an ability to rotate placemats? And I wasn't quite, it kind of sounded like it could cause a lot of kind of game performance issues with putting too many items in something and then having it in all kinds of different directions. That they purposely were right now keeping it kind of simple, but they're not, you know, if they can get the technology to work for it later, it's something they might look into, but that right now they're purposely not having that.
And on that note, I would love to be able to make this world more of a 3D orb type world, and being able to rotate an entire blueprint so that I could create a building flat, horizontal, and then stick it vertically on a wall, or upside down even. It would be I would personally.
Oh yeah, being able to oh, that'd be awesome to see houses and building upside down. Wouldn't that be awesome?
I may just have to create one that is completely upside down just to say, well, you know, this would have been so much easier if I'd been able to make this and then flip it upside down with a blueprint.
I agree. Also, what I would love is if the cornerstone is on the blueprint.
Yes.
Yes, that would be fantastic. Seriously.
I had not thought of that, but
because there's like so many times I'm like, oh, I got it perfectly where I want it, and it's like 15, down. I'm like, so I've been actually trying on my to put where I'm, like it's in the middle block 17 or something like that.
I may have to be kinder to my uploads then and start putting those in.
So, back to the Galactic update. The other thing I got out of this was that I suck at building spaceships. It's so bad. I started many a great one, and then they went nowhere. Someone has locked me out of this place. It's
because there's a sensor or there's a purple device that goes on the wall added, and I'm positive that once it is, the doors will be able to unlock.
I see how it is. Gotta go the long way around.
There's doors on that side too.
I need to get some more blocks. Kinda wasn't able to make it today, but I thought was an interesting note for the Galactic update. Kinda said that what she wanted was kind of like, the curved slopes that you can put down, that if you put them all the circle out of them, that they actually match up correctly, that the lines aren't right, and so it's not really seamless. And
yeah, I would love to be able to make modular pillars as not just the one single block, but 4 blocks to create one. So they're 12, something like that.
No, I agree. I think some of the skins really do need an update. When you can see that the seams in something that's supposed to be seamless, it just kind of takes the total away from it.
Yeah, and that was kind of my point too. It's just like, it's not even just that. It's like when she brought that up, I was like, yeah, there's been a couple of blocks where I've just been like, oh, this wood texture doesn't align. I wish that did.
Have you ever checked out all the different limestones? Because quite a lot of the limestones, some of them are closer to bedrock than they are to limestone, and that's my pet peeve, is that if it's limestone, at least have it a uniform color. So then you can say, well, I'm building something out of limestone, and I can use the figured limestone, I can use the carved limestone, and it'll all match. But nope, it won't. just my peeve.
No,
I'm right there with you. Go ahead.
No, I was totally agreeing. And then it's like with the limestone and you have the smooth limestone. Give us one or the other, or both.
In general, and this is part of my wish list, I'm getting ahead of myself, but just in general, I wish these blocks in sets, but I feel like solid blocks that work in sets together well.
Yeah, that was on my wish list as well. Like the windows. I mean, really, we have all of this obsidian windows other than the adobe.
Yeah.
We just need more windows, period. I mean, they gave us some new one. There needs to be a lot more, like you're saying, the match. Because, yeah, I don't know. I'm like you guys, you all seem kind of like you're very detailed oriented to match and stuff. So I think they will too. I think they're adding those and those kinds of things.
I think Susie was going to say something.
Good.
Anything else about the Galactic update?
I was kind of disappointed they did not have a storage unit.
Yes.
I mean,
I would have liked not just a storage unit, but teleportation, or teleporters that will teleport your items from one location to another.
You're talking machine stuff in a way, though.
But it would have been logical to add it to, the Galactic set. Go ahead. Oh my god, Cat is building.
I am. Like, I don't know what I'm doing.
All right. So our update R47 was the Pumpkuru Candy campaign. We were moving for the most part of this, but when we were able to hop on, I really did enjoy being part of like a large scale. Everybody else that was a player, I really like that kind of teamwork, and I thought in general it was a really neat event.
I agree. I love the fact that it was a community where it was the whole game and not just a worldly event. Even though you can do your own world.
Anybody else?
Well, this was the introduction of the first.
Sorry,
the introduction of the first Creativerse NPC with the Pumpkuru, and I thought it was a really, really good idea because I'm part of the Creative crew, and there were a lot of us that were all getting together and jumping on a world, and we created arenas to do these things. And I don't think I have killed as many creatures as I did during this event, and it was so much fun. And chasing after warm worms as they were popping up all over the place, and it was a really, really, really good idea, and I'm glad that they introduced it because it did bring out a very strong community feel, and that's what I think Playful do best, to be honest.
Wacko Worm was interesting. Especially when he ported to places where you did not expect him to go.
Yeah,
I know,
so
right?
much...
It was fun.
And who didn't like that?
Repeat.
Was awesome.
What'd you say, Susie?
Bat juice from the Pumpkuru event was really awesome.
Yeah, like that's what I was mentioning was, the extra stuff that they brought in was really cool. The only complaint I had for myself for the this event was I wish you could take off the angles from like the cameras or the skulls and just maybe have a blank.
Like what you mean when you put in like a placemat?
Well, when you put down the new, I haven't played with any of the new events.
Mm-hmm. Talking about
But
go ahead.
like so how they have the skull on the face. I wish you could, instead of having, that skull and the colors. I mean, they're gorgeous, but they're just not my style.
I know. I was trying to add it to the magic set, and then it just was like, no, this mage tower is not supposed to look evil, and adding skulls to your candles really just brought up the evilness.
Yeah. The flares, however, those are super hilariously funny. And old Bob just loved the fireballs. I mean, come on, who's going to make the other fireball?
There were other fireballs?
Well, you have the just came out, and then you had the fire bomb. Excuse me.
Oh, okay.
I'd rather see a flying skull any day.
Those were cool. I mean, I wasted a few just throwing them just to watch.
I mean, the sheer amount of explosives and extractors, and just for participating in the event, and if you teamed up with other people to do it as a group, the amount of material that you could acquire was, I mean, I still have a couple hundred of the extractors, and I was barely participating. I can't imagine someone who did it every single day, was on all the time to collect their chests.
Oh, I know. That's just it. Yeah, I love the new chest though. I mean, it's like, here's your little food pellets, come in every 4 hours.
Okay, I will say I loved it at first, and then I had to talk to myself because I started to feel bad. It just was like I wasn't opening them, and so my bags were filling up with them. And I mean, not filling up, but you see it on the screen, and then I'd log, and there'd be more, and I'd be just like, no more, I can take no more. But then I was just like, it's such a good thing. Like, I was just like, get over it, you'll be fine.
You'll never have to make an extractor ever again.
I was feeling pressure. I was just like, you must get on and open.
I just counted. I have like 40 of those chests on me right now. I haven't opened. Speaking of hoarding,
I have 30. I have 38. I think something like that.
So I like my bags to be clean sometimes, and not that you could tell from like my videos, but yeah, that was killing me. It was a good 2 weeks of me going on, and then I moved on. I think it's when I started using more the excavators, no, the extractors rather. Then I was happy again.
Well, I just think the cost of them in the first place is just way too expensive. So getting them free cancels out a little.
Yeah. Anything else about the candy campaign?
The candy campaign, no, but for the cost.
Yeah, that was the next update, the R48. So go for it.
I love the fact that they brought in the costumes. That you're able to change them to the colors that you're wearing. But they should really had practice fitting them a little better.
I have not actually done one for my flashlight, which I then turned back off, but
I haven't figured out how to make the costumes yet.
Well, for me, it's just I didn't see anything I wanted yet. I thought they were cool. I just didn't really want them yet.
I love the flashlight. I hope they can do more things with it, like give me a little leprechaun or something.
Leprechaun.
Or fairy, or just something.
The fairy would be cool. I vote yes on fairy.
I
that
have
would
a
be
little
nice.
teeny dragon.
Ooh, that too. Which of you guys actually use the costumes?
I believe I have one on now.
Yeah, the ones that have on.
Same here.
What'd you say, Susie?
I love it, and I wish they would make more costumes for females.
Yeah. Okay, I am not a girly girl, but like I just wanted a little bit. I know they just got started, so I'm gonna give them that. But I can't wait to see what other ones they do.
Now, talking about not being a girly, I am definitely in the same boat. But look at we are all female characters, and when you look at us, other than maybe long hair, there's nothing that changes what we look like compared to the male characters, other than these weird-looking skirt shorts.
I know. I had that on my list.
And like they're trying to make it kid-friendly, and we do all look like little kids. Can't actually add like chest, but something that makes the characters look a little bit more feminine might help. And I know that sounds completely opposite from any other game, where they're absolutely hyper feminine.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the guys, the male shorts are so much better. Give me those. I mean, look at the shoes too. Why do we have to have socks all the way to our knees?
Yeah.
I agree.
I wish there were just more styles. I also, and this is for me for all games, being a African, I'm glad that there's so many games where I don't get that option, but I just wish there was more hairstyles too. And I don't even care if they're all variations of hairstyles I can't have. There just isn't enough. And I'm like, and I'm not a girly girl, but I wanted more options.
Yeah, I want more hair options as well. And also, I grew up like religious, so I've been like forced to wear skirts, and that's one thing I wish I could change.
You're like, no more skirts.
To play in pants. So,
Yes.
It's actually funny.
It's not cool.
Sorry. If anybody were to know me, if they actually saw me in real life in a skirt, they would ask me if I was going to a funeral or something, because
Exactly.
I just don't do it. It's like, especially now at this time of year, it's freezing cold. You will not see me in a skirt. You will see me in thick corduroy trousers with stockings. It's like, that's how it's gonna be. And you're not gonna stop me. I'm not gonna be cold for anyone.
Oh my God, you're speaking my mind. I'm like, when it's cold, I prefer to be warm than anything else.
Oh goodness! Yesterday we did wood, and I had a pair of tights, my my pants. I mean, I was like totally bundled up. No such thing as a looseness on me.
It's in firewood?
Yeah, we had to cut some trees down.
Yeah, okay, so I think we're all in agreement. More options, and maybe this definitely with the skirt and the hair.
How about the color palette for both characters and being able to dye blocks?
I agree with that. With the dyeing of the blocks, that's one of the things I had on my list for like the Halloween updates. For the multi-block that has like the multi-different sections, oh goodness gracious, wallpaper like design so that you can block something. You have to go too deep in order not to have a backdrop that you don't want.
Or a way to select the side of the wall that you want to have on the entire block.
Yeah.
I want them separated because I loved, like, for the Halloween wall, for instance, I love all the sides. They're all neat. They're very cool. But when I got to the corner, I was just like, what do I do now? Because I want the corners to be this, like, I want the bottom side to be the same as the left side. And it meant that I was going to have spooky eyes, a broken brick one, which looks cool, but not so cool when it's the entire column. And it was just like, ugh. It just makes building hard. And I had to swap out that and use something else. Totally.
Well, this has been the whole raison d'etre behind campaigning for the 32-bit blocks, because the 32-bit blocks would allow for us to customize them and paint them, and that's why I've kind of been on Twitter as well, and it's always hashtag 32-bit blocks.
Yeah.
Get it out there, because the sooner they can bring it in, the more customizable everything can be, and I want that. I mean, we've got so many nice textures, but I look at it, I go, it's a great texture, if only it was in green, or if only I could do that in purple. I love it, but it's the wrong color. And that's my big real frustration with the game, is to be able to choose the design I want and then the color I want with it. We can do it with the LEDs, so we know that they can do it. They just need to add it onto the blocks as well.
The LEDs, I do agree, work with. They're not the true colors. Because when I was doing my TARDIS, the Creative TARDIS roof, I picked out certain color codes, and I actually went through the whole, RGB, and it wasn't matching.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of people talk about that before. Yeah, they're not quite red, green, blue. I think it's the blue and not a blue.
Oh, and I would also like to see beam stoppers.
What's that?
Oh, yeah, beam stoppers. Something through a wall and halfway across the map. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be great with all of those beacons if you could just limit how far they went, because they literally do go right from one end of the world to the other from wherever you've set them.
I hate that. That's why I don't use them that much. I'm just like, I just want a little light to come out for the little ways. That's it.
I mean, just being able to put a solid block down and have it cause the beam to not would make so much sense.
Or if you could just adjust how long you wanted it to go with a slider.
But you see, my brain, when I hear block to divert it, I'm thinking, wouldn't it be nice if you could have a corner slab that would go around a corner with it, and you could cordon with it, and so many possibilities with just one little idea.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking of using maze where you have to place, like you're for an adventure where you're given a certain number of corner blocks and you have to place them in such a way to get the laser to go from the beam to go from one end to another through the maze in order to open the final door on the end.
That'd be awesome.
That would rock. Totally would. I would make an adventure and play an adventure.
You should do that. Like love to play it, would not love to build it.
Now there was one update. I'm not sure, the medieval update.
Did I skip that one? I think I might have skipped. It was. Yeah, it was after the mob makeover. The R41 was the Colossal Castle update. Let's talk about that one.
I absolutely love the Renaissance. Me and my husband actually got married in Liber with Renaissance clothing and everything. So this is my favorite update. It's just really none of the align when you put them together. Like it's just crazy. And then when they changed the back of the stairs, they just gave it a plain back. Why didn't they give us, the rug back like they usually do?
Yeah, that was pretty much ditto. Kind of genre, and then I found like the blocks didn't go well with a lot of the other stone blocks, so it's just made for mixing not quite as nice, and then yeah, the texture's not lining up like when you yeah. In general, I just want things to packs to line up. What else happened? Oh, so the Colossal Castle update has got the beds so that they restore your full health, which is cool. I will say, and the survival aspect, granted I have not played on a creative mode version. I never thought I would say this because I hate having to eat in other games, but I don't know, I feel like there's no true sense of death and worry. There needs to be a little bit more of that in survival mode.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that actually the other day, that there's really no sense of death, because you can, I mean, I don't know how I would change it. Like, I don't know what I would do to make it more challenging. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No food is one of the things, but I don't. I was not going to change as well because I would die.
They added, yeah, they would definitely need that to work if they were going to add food. If you needed food and water, that would make it more of a challenge. That would, I actually might like that. It would make me want to play in a more survival mode because I too, I'm in creative mode pretty much all the time.
But that brings in the thing is that we actually need a true creative mode. Is we need to just be able to lay down blocks, build what we like, and do whatever we need to do. And I'd like to add to that too, if they're worried that people will just make blueprints that are impossible to make because of creativity and whatever, is making an offline mode so I can go offline, build to my heart's content, and then come back and just say, well, this is what can be done, you guys go and try it now. Just so that maybe it doesn't inundate the blueprint world or whatever else with other people who are actually working hard to get those materials.
Sorry, I fully agree. I just my computer was closing the window every time I placed a block. It's weird, and it's still doing that.
Are you talking about making an entire blueprint of like Lumite, for example?
Well, yes, and I mean, it's nothing stopping you from doing that, but I mean that does also come to my second sort of little niggle that I've got, is how they are charging people to, if you want to actually get the kit for the blueprint, is they're charging for something that they haven't done. You're just having to pay to get those blocks, and I think it's a bit costly. And as I say, I do know players that are school-going age, that they're children, and this is very, very unfair to them. It's sort of it's frustrating for them because they can't do what other creators can do, and they're constantly having to go, oh, we need so many coins. I mean, for me to sort of like sometimes do a blueprint, it would cost me, I'm in the UK, it would cost me like £20. To me, that's a lot of money. That's a lot to put in so I can put some virtual blocks down. It's I think if the price index was a lot lower, where it'd be sort of where in line with a lot of the Facebook games where you're putting in maybe like £2, then it would be less of a burden, I would say, on those who don't actually have that much money.
Blueprint by a player period that I've purchased, and that was just because of time's sake. We didn't have the time to go get all of these, but yeah, because of the cost, every time I look at a blueprint, I'm like, well, I'll just go grind that out. I just am not paying that much for, as you said, virtual blocks. I mean, I don't begrudge them their model if that's keep things down, allows everyone, the development team to have a roof over their head and eat, but I do think there could be some adjustments to that to be a little bit more, a little bit better for others to purchase, and they might see an increase in purchases.
Yeah, I mean, for people who have the money, I don't see it being a big problem, but for most of us, I'm sorry, I don't have the money to do that. And lately, I don't have the time, 5 to 10 hours to build one build.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's any quibble about, that they about the fact that they're charging for it, but I think that their price point is just a little bit high. And I mean, it's fine because you, like you say, you don't actually have to pay for the blocks, but then there is a big time factor, and I mean, we know, I won't mention any names, but there's other companies that have got into a fair bit of trouble recently for trying to get as much money as they possibly can out of their game.
Yeah.
Can everybody hold 1 second? I need to stop this recording and restart it.
No worries.
All right, recording again. Every time I place a block, it kicks me out of the game. I don't know why.
Wow, I just looked down. This is pretty.
Yeah, it's really cool. If you want to fill, go for it. I think we should be able to finish it with flat fill. Okay, so that was the Colossal. Oh, you know, the other thing for the Colossal update was they added in-game tutorials. I watched a YouTuber the other day and his first take of Creativerse, and the first few times that the tutorial popped up, he kind of hated on it. He's like, "Oh God, this is in the way," and he was kind of rushing through it, assuming it was all the same as the games he's played before. But then eventually he got to some stuff like that he hadn't done, and now suddenly he was reading the tutorial. Can I do this? And I appreciate the tutorials. It's really nice. I mean, yes, you can turn it. I think there needs to be an easier or clearer method to turn them off if you don't want the fact that they have them. That just kind of let you know, here's how you play this game. You don't have to guess. You don't have to figure it out. I also just like their crafting. Your what makes what. You can just click on it and look at it. So I like their informative design.
Yeah, and I like how it says, "Oh, this comes from the processor," or "This comes from, you know, that type of a thing."
Alright, so stepping back ahead, we're at R49, which is the column craze, which was our last update. And this is the one that Creativerse went 64-bit. What's your thoughts on that and the columns themselves?
I feel really, I mean, for myself, I am very happy with the 64-bit, but it makes my game run a lot better. I don't crash like I did before, but I feel really bad, you know, aren't able to upgrade their PC and have to run with a 32-bit and, you know, can't really play the game, I guess, whatever. I mean, I know they had some warning ahead of time, but I don't know. I just feel really bad for those people. I don't know what they could have done. I mean, other than, you know, people update your computer, but some people, and they have older computers or potatoes.
No, I agree. I mean, the lag and the crashes were just getting unplayable. So I do believe upgrading was for them, but I do agree that for the lower end players, you know, they're going to have to look for something else now.
Yeah, I understand there's not a whole lot of them, but still, I mean, I don't know.
I think it was a decision that they absolutely had to make, though, because people were actually stopping from playing the game because it was unplayable. I know from my perspective that I actually had to sort of take a step back because I was actually getting motion sickness, and I had the Steam overlay on, and I was at 4 frames per second, and you can't play a game at that at all. It was like playing in stop motion. So I think they made the right choice. But as you say, for those who do have lower end PCs, they could probably still run it. They could probably get I don't know, some sort of overclock on their computers. But I think that, you know, Playful did take a look and see how many players actually are on that lower end, and realize that they've really got to keep the newer end, sort of the higher end, sort of playing, rather than catering to a very small sort of lower end demographic. Unfortunately, it's progress, I suppose.
And I would totally lose my, you know, video, which was sucking, and I'd have to like re-record everything. But yeah, I mean, I had to. It was necessary. And I know you can't keep everybody happy, but I definitely like it. But I've just not a lot, but I've had few to me personally that they were, you know, not going to be able to play the game anymore because they were 32-bit still.
Someone that many were 32-bit, and that it was making that big of a difference to a lot of players.
I hadn't either, because my PC actually is like 6 years, and I mean, I have upgraded. If I have, you know, a 6-year-old computer and it's 64, I like, what do you guys have, like a 15-year-old computer? Like most computers these days do have, you know, are the 64. Whereas quite a few, and I mean way less obviously, but there's still some out there that have that. But anyways, we can move on from this topic. Sorry, guys.
Now, as for columns, who else feels like they need to replace all of the building?
Me, my underground little city. I have to go back and redo a lot of it to add those columns and to make everything look a lot better. But it'll be okay. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I really enjoyed seeing those come out.
I liked them, although as soon as they came, and I had no desire for them before. It wasn't like, oh, but I thought they were cool when they came out. Well, now I wish they had like half versions of this, like where one side is flat and the other side is rounded. I would have loved to put that against walls or things like that. Our column craze update. All right, so that wraps up. Go ahead.
Sprite.
What'd you say, Susie?
It said they also added the sprite icon.
Oh my god, that was that update. You're right. We should definitely talk about that. Love it. My heart.
Well, it was so crazy because like a few months ago, I had asked them for a file of all their pictures because I'm planning on doing a series, and then they come out with this because I was going to Photoshop all my pictures.
I like being organized and the ability to see what's in a chest, or better yet, for Tam to see what's in a chest and not put things back in the wrong chest. That is wonderful.
Your death, Tashlin.
Yeah, I got super jumped to death. Lovely.
I remember the first time I super jumped. I was like, oh my god, what happened? Alright, so 17. Just want to see in 2018. What's your wish list?
The ability to put things back the way you found them.
The undo button?
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yes, please, an undo button would be so much better.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that's done something and be like, oh no, undo that. And you're like, oh wait, no, you can't.
Well, because it's like when you're and you got all the blocks and you just want that one that's up in the air and you accidentally definitely take it.
I think that's probably why I do like it. Gave me, like, for me, often I'd be using it in a sense of, I want to try this out. I think it's okay, but what about this other idea? And I'll try. No, I think I want to go back to the original. And it's just like, no, I gotta go recreate it. So the blueprints have helped me with that.
Yeah. Well, also I would like to be able to put like the moss tree. Like if I build my own tree,
God, yes.
or the vine,
or the vines. Yeah, the vines back onto the tree and not have them just look like.
I'd love for all of every block that has a item on it. I wish you could have that. I would rather you get the tree with the moss on it, and then you can, process or something to separate them, or be able to craft them back together. You put the moss, and then you have it. And I would love for everything to be something you could get, like the like Christmas trees that have the snow on them, and you can't actually get that block. You can't get that with that snow look on it. Ugh.
Oh, I know. The time I first seen that, I was like, "Oh yes, this is gonna be perfect." And then I took it, and I was like, "What?" Or the snow caps are gorgeous too.
Yeah, even if they made it how they did with the other stuff, just do the plow. So that you can plow it and make it snowy, or have snow and you can smoosh it together somehow. It would be nice for every block that you've got there, if you pull it up, that you can use it again. It's not rocket science. It's what we want.
Yes.
If we see a block, we want to use it. You can't give it to us as a teaser and say, "Oh no, sorry, you can only use it when it's there." It's like, no.
Well, yeah, because they already have the skins for it, so I mean, it's not going to be that hard to replace.
That's what I don't understand. I'm like, you have it. Just give it to me. So that kind of goes along with what this is all kind of related. I had a bunch that summed up to more blocks. So that one is single serve blocks. That's kind of what we were talking about earlier when it comes to the Halloween blocks, where you have all those 4 different sides. I'm like, give me all 4 of those separately. Then also blocks that are the same colors. I feel like there's a lot of things they'll have a red, a blue, and a yellow version of. And then there's other things where they have a purple version. And I was trying to make that wizard tower with purple, and I'm just like, there's not enough that that I can use to be like, this is my purple house. I just want more colors. I want the same block. You don't need to change it other than change the colors. For God's sake, change the colors. And then the last one for this would be same vein of the different woods that we have a different process look for that. It's like you have the textures for them look cool on their own, and then you put in the process, patty stamped. They're all the same, multiple wood textures.
Yeah, give us a reason to have all of these different woods.
Yeah, and I think that just goes back to explore, to go to the jungle biome to get this, if it's just going to give me the same process look.
Well, on top of that, if you look at all of the woods in particular, none of them match. We have the banded wood, and then you have the other dark wood. Anything else, like if you would try to put them with these stairs.
Yeah, I think that goes back to my more block. It's just, you need more sets, and I think like they release everything in sets, and yet there's still not a mind to be like, oh, these can all kind of go together.
I think that's a pretty common complaint, though, is that people are saying that we're getting lots of blocks, we appreciate the blocks, we think they're great, we're doing great stuff with them, but none of them match. I think one of my big bugbear is just with the plowed field. Why is that directional? And I'm not talking, you know, sort of it's lengthwise. It's like if you go up one row and come down the other, it won't match, and that bugs me. Why can't it just, you can make a tile and you can make something that's tiled, but it can be uniform. So if I walk up and plow and walk down and plow, it'll be the same. It's not that complicated.
Why try not to plow? I'll finish up my last ones, and then you guys are welcome to add your list. So, wanted more decoration items. I don't do the role-playing game stuff, but I like to decorate. I don't participate in them, but I do like to decorate, and I just want to be able to have this house, and this is my so-and-so house, and be able to put things that we have like already as items into a placemat. So all the potions, oh, please give me the potions that I can put them in a placemat. Every block, I want it to be in a placemat. Just every block.
Oh, I know. I agree with you on the potions. Like, you know, like the leafy, all of those. Wouldn't those be put on a shelf?
Hmm. They're so adorable. I'm like, why don't you let me use them? I'm trying to find what I have. Oh, there. I'm like, I have blocks, but I don't know where they go. And I fell. All right, so what's everyone else's wish list?
More even lights.
Explain.
Well, I know we have different light sources for different, like, these here that we're using. I wish there was a way that you can say, I want a light source. Like, if you look at all the lights, some of them are a stale type of light, like if we light. A main light source, if you want, like, use these, you have to put them everywhere to get the same light source you would with another type of bulb.
I think light in general is very interesting.
I will say it's a lot better than it used to be. It's a lot. One thing that I would like them to see, and this probably will never happen or not for a long while, is like climate changes, like actual rain, hail, whatever. I think, you know, like seasonal. I think that would look cool.
That would be cool.
I remember watching one of their videos when they very first came out. They had falling leaves, and I was like, "Oh, that is so cool! Why did they take that out?"
To go back and look at that.
Yeah, it was very, very subtle, but see the falling leaves, and I was just like, "Oh, that is so beautiful."
Found myself focusing on this build right now. Too. How are we missing so many pieces?
It's driving.
It's like we should have been like auto-filling this thing from the beginning.
Yeah, it's bigger than I thought.
It is so funny though, but I'm using the autofill because I was such against it at first.
Yeah, I was actually. I mean, I'm still. I should use it. Excuse me, I had to clear my voice. When I could use it and when I shouldn't use it, because I don't know. I'm still. Sometimes it messes me up. Sometimes it helps.
Well, yeah, and like sometimes it pushes you up with it, and then sometimes you're stuck on the ground, and you're like, oh, great, now I have it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I hate when it skips. It has that weird pattern it does when it wants to fill. It has that kind of triangle shape it fills in. But then it will skip some blocks sometimes, and you're just like, how did you skip this one but do these?
Yeah, that's my big bugbear with the burst fill, is how haphazard it is. It's like if it's going to fill in a block pattern, or if it's going to fill in a grid pattern, or just give it some kind of pattern, not this, oh, it'll do these and then 3 up above your head. Why those 3? Why not 10 at my feet? Why those random 3 so now I can't move? It's so frustrating.
That one gets to me too. I was replicating raised towers, and she has various floors. It one layer done completely so that I can move on to something else and not necessarily build the floor above me at all. And I'm like, why do I keep running out of these? Where are they going? Then I look up and the entire floor is completely filled in. I was like, I don't even want that filled in.
It's a very interesting pattern for sure.
Yeah, I was so happy just like when we started this, when I could see that the autofill was off.
So now I'm looking at the actual design of this on the inside, and this is, I'm realizing this looks like there's chains. Like they're looped around, it's looped around itself.
Oh, and I just fell through the hole.
Where the structure itself looks like it was a chain built on itself.
I think I see what you're saying, but I also see very strange things right now.
I think it's funny the way Susie's just like, jump, move, jump.
This is
right now.
This is when I do love burst fill, because I just jump and it gets a whole bunch of them.
We're probably going to have to wind this up fairly soon. It's already, we've been here 2 hours, and I'm going to have to get on with other things soon. Just saying.
Yeah, we're actually at the end, so it's pretty much if anyone else has a wish list item that they want to mention, and that's it.
And you can stay to help us finish the build if you want, or go do something else if you want.
So let me just go through everyone. Kat, any other wish list items for 2018?
I believe I've said them, but I'm not sure.
All right, Jen, any other item?
I don't think so. I think, yeah, all this you guys mentioned is things that I'm hoping for as well. So yeah, I don't think I have any more.
Tashlin, you have any other?
Not really. I think that my big thing is definitely, you know, I want those 32-bit blocks, because I do want us to be able to like color the textures and that sort of thing. I think that will open things out so much for us. And again, I think we do need some kind of creative mode. We need to be able to go into a world, make it flat, and just build. And yeah, I think those are my 2 main Christmas wish lists.
I like that you mentioned the flat world. It's something I took for granted in other games, and now I'm just like, yeah, I would like that option.
I do agree. Actually, I just remembered a few once we're done.
All right, go ahead. I think this is almost it.
Well, Susie, do you have anything?
I heard jumping.
She's focused to get this done.
Susie, do you have any wish list items?
Can you hear?
Yeah, go ahead now.
Yeah. I would like for them to add a new creature. Just like totally that
would be
that
cool.
would look like more or be super cool to actually a cute pet around.
Yeah, I agree. I wish they would do something more with the oceans. Like give us a nice creature and then give us one that's going to be more aggressive.
Oh, okay. I want there to be reasons to. There should be things out in the world. I feel like when I go into a cave, there's nothing for me to be like, ooh, what will I find? There's no sense of this could be different than the cave I went through away. I would love for there to be just random things thrown out there. I don't have to have actual NPCs, but at least villages or things you find out in the world. Just to break it up and make you go, oh, and see what's over there, and oh, I found something, So it was just the same with the water. There's no point in going in the water right now. All right, that's it for me. Kat, what would add? Kat, did you have something you wanted to add?
I did, but I'm a deer in headlights again.
I would like Lumite mobs.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, that's actually one of the things. Reduce crafting costs. They have upped them, and it is sometimes.
Yeah, some of the more expensive stuff, I'm just like, yeah, I don't need that. I'll go do something else. All right, can we get everybody in the set quick on the middle level, I guess? So not the ground level.
Of course, I would fall to the ground level.
Actually, I need to go turn off the see-through because I can't see anybody to do this closing. Just white block see-throughs.
Another thing I would love to see, sorry, like I said, I was a deer in headlights most of the time. An easier way to clean up your world map view. Like if you ban somebody, why are they still on your list? I mean, I understand having like maybe different tabs for like people who haven't been on for a while, people who banned, but I don't want to see everybody on my teleporter list.
Maybe you know what, come downstairs. There's too many blocks missing on that level. It's a mess. Does anyone have these two doors? We can stand in front of this. There we go. Need some lighting in front of us. Alright guys, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed our discussion. I know I did. I want to say thank you to Jen, to Susie, to Kat, and Tashlyn for joining us today. It was a whole lot of fun. I'm so excited about what is going to happen in the new year. I can't wait to see. Take care.
Happy game now.
Bye all.
Later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.